The Key to the Indian by Reid Chapter 7. A Bitter Disappointment. Omri burst into his bedroom. Sure enough, there was his dad. He had his back to him, blocking the cupboard, and appeared to be concentrating on something in his hand. When he heard Omri come in, he turned. His face was pale, and a look, almost of anguish, was on it. "Dad, what on earth's wrong?" Without a word, his father held out his hand to Omri, palm up. Omri walked toward him. He noticed the cupboard door was open. Jessica Charlotte's figure was standing on the shelf, but it was different. The key was no longer in her arms. "Dad, you brought her. Where's the new key?" "Here it is," said his dad in an odd, flat voice. Omri looked into his hand. It was completely empty. "Where is it?" "It's there. Jessie assured me it's there. She put it into my hand. She could see it, apparently, but I can't. It's too small." Omri stared at him open-mouthed. "Too small to see?" "We didn't think it out properly, Om. When she got back, the key was miniaturized, right? It would have been very small compared to her, because everything that goes through the cupboard gets small. She said she had a terrible time trying to copy it. When she poured the lead into the tiny mold she'd made, she couldn't be sure it would take such a small impression. She was absolutely bent on doing her best for us, and she worked like a jeweler, she said, using a magnifying glass and a tiny watchmaker's tweezers and a file that she bought specially. But of course, what none of us stopped to realize was that the copy came from her time. So when it came forward to us, when she brought it just now, it got smaller still. Now it's a miniature of a miniature. Does that make sense?" Omri was totally confounded. Of course it made sense. It was obvious, but the shock. What a disappointment. The key that he had been counting on, invisible to the naked eye and completely useless. His father was showing him his other hand. In that lay the original car key they'd sent back, full size, part metal, part plastic. "The original key became big again when I brought her. So big it tore free of her pocket and fell onto the floor of the cupboard." He put it in his pocket. Omri sat down sharply at his desk. There was a long silence. "I'm so stupid!" he suddenly shouted. "Shh! No, you're not. Why didn't I think of it? Of course the copy would be small. Smaller than small. She made it. It had to get smaller still when she brought it back through the cupboard." "That's it, then," said his dad dully. "That's it. That was our last hope." Omri looked at Jessica Charlotte's figure. He picked it up. "Did she say anything else?" "Not much. She said she couldn't stay long. She just said she was glad to have met me. She tried to save face, telling me how hard she'd tried, but I think she sort of realized she'd failed us. She said, 'I feared it wouldn't be any use, but I did my utmost. But my gift can't overcome the problem of proportion.' I think I thanked her. I know she thanked me." After a moment he added, "She sent you her love. She said she wished she had a son like you." "We won't see her again," said Omri sadly. "No, but there's one good thing. She won't try to kill herself again. It'll be terribly hard for her, but at least she knows Lottie grew up and had a baby." "Good. She doesn't know she died so young. She found that out at the end of her life when she poured the lead to tell her own fortune. It was in the account." They were silent. "So we can't go, then," said Omri hopelessly. "It doesn't look like it. What about Little Bear? Maybe we could give him some advice from here." His father frowned. "I'm not sure we should give him any. Who are we to give the Indians advice? It's like the missionaries who told them to believe and rubbish their religion, destroying everything that had ever held them together. But Little Bear asked because he never guesses. He guesses we know how things are going to turn out." His father said nothing. After a while, Omri felt the need to comfort him. If he himself felt this disappointed, he could only guess how his dad must be feeling. "Well, we could always go camping properly," he said. His father snorted. "A wet tent in Dartmoor. Fat comfort," he said violently. "And we'll pause there."